What if everything we think we know about intelligent life in the universe is just the tip of the cosmic iceberg? Imagine staring up at the night sky, wondering if somewhere out there, civilizations not just decades but millions of years ahead of us have already unlocked secrets of physics and technology we can't even begin to comprehend. Take the famous Phoenix Lights incident in 1997. Thousands of witnesses, including pilots and police officers, reported a mile-wide V-shaped craft gliding silently overhead, defying every law of propulsion we understand. That's just one of countless encounters that make you question, could these be glimpses of beings whose intelligence dwarfs our own? The universe is 13.8 billion years old. Our civilization, a mere blip in that timeline. Now picture a society that's had even a fraction of that time to evolve. They might harness energy from black holes, communicate through quantum entanglement, or transcend biological limits entirely. Think about how we've advanced in just a few thousand years, from stone tools to smartphones. Now stretch that progress across millions of years. The possibilities aren't just science fiction, they're scientific inevitabilities waiting to be uncovered. That's exactly what we're diving into today. 25 jaw-dropping theories about alien civilizations that could be so advanced they'd seem like gods to us. From celestial megastructures hiding in plain sight to civilizations that might have already uploaded their consciousness into the fabric of space-time itself, we're about to explore ideas that will stretch your imagination to its limits. So buckle up. By the end of this journey, the night sky will never look the same to you again. Ever wondered how scientists measure the technological might of an alien civilization? Enter the Kardashev Scale, a mind-bending framework dreamed up by Soviet astronomer Nikolai Kardashev back in 1964. It classifies civilizations based on their energy consumption, and at the top sits the most awe-inspiring concept of all, a Type Roman III civilization. These wouldn't just be advanced, they'd be masters of their entire galaxy, harnessing energy on a scale we can barely fathom. Picture a society that doesn't just build power plants but constructs Dyson spheres, gigantic megastructures enveloping stars to capture every drop of their energy. We're talking about rearranging solar systems like Lego bricks, bending physics to their will. If a civilization like this exists, they might not even notice us any more than we'd notice an anthill while flying a jumbo jet. And here's the eerie part, their very advancement could make them invisible to us. A Type Roman III civilization wouldn't waste energy broadcasting radio signals, they'd have moved beyond such primitive tech. Instead, they might communicate through quantum networks or manipulate dark matter in ways we can't detect. Some theorists argue they could have already transcended physical form, existing as pure energy or within simulated realities. So why haven't we found them yet? Maybe we're looking for fireflies in a forest when the real giants move like shadows, silent, vast, and beyond our current understanding. The chilling truth is, they might be out there right now, so advanced that their presence is written into the fabric of the cosmos itself. But what if advanced alien civilizations didn't just exist in distant galaxies? What if they walked among us, shaping human history itself? The Ancient Astronaut Hypothesis suggests exactly that. This controversial theory claims extraterrestrials visited Earth thousands of years ago, leaving behind clues in our myths, religions, and even our most inexplicable ancient structures. Take the Great Pyramid of Giza, a marvel of engineering so precise that modern architects still debate how it was built with primitive tools. The blocks fit together with laser-like precision, aligned perfectly with celestial constellations. Could this be coincidence or evidence of otherworldly guidance? Then there are the Nazca lines in Peru, enormous geoglyphs carved into the desert floor, some stretching over 600 feet long. These intricate designs, only fully visible from high above, depict animals, plants, and geometric shapes with startling accuracy. Why would ancient humans create art they couldn't even see? Ancient astronaut theorists argue these might have been landing strips or signals for spacecraft, messages meant for beings who viewed Earth from the sky. Even sacred texts like the Hindu Vedas describe flying machines called vimanas, complete with detailed technical specifications that eerily resemble modern aircraft. Of course, mainstream science dismisses these claims as pseudoscience, attributing ancient feats to human ingenuity and lost technologies. Archaeologists point to evidence of ramps, pulleys, and vast labor forces behind structures like the pyramids. But the question lingers: why do so many ancient cultures, separated by oceans and millennia, share nearly identical stories of gods descending from the stars? Could these myths be fractured memories of real encounters? The debate rages on, but one thing's certain: if extraterrestrials did visit Earth in antiquity, their influence would rewrite everything we know about our past. Maybe the truth isn't buried in future space exploration, but hidden in plain sight, etched into the stones of our oldest monuments. What if we're not alone in the universe, but we're being deliberately ignored? Enter the zoo hypothesis, one of the most spine-tingling answers to the Fermi paradox. Imagine an advanced civilization so sophisticated that they've turned our planet into a cosmic nature preserve, watching us from a distance like biologists observing ants in a terrarium. The idea suggests they've chosen not to interfere, allowing humanity to develop naturally, or perhaps waiting for us to reach a certain level of maturity before making contact. Think about how we study uncontacted tribes in the Amazon, taking pains not to disrupt their way of life. Now flip that perspective. What if we're the uncontacted tribe? This wouldn't just be passive observation, it could be a carefully enforced policy, a galactic prime directive to prevent cultural contamination. After all, sudden contact with a far superior intelligence could shatter our societies, triggering panic, religious upheaval, or even technological dependency. The Fermi paradox asks a haunting question: if the universe is teeming with life, where is everybody? The zoo hypothesis offers a chilling reply: they're right here, hidden in plain sight. Advanced civilizations might cloak their presence using technologies beyond our detection, like bending light or manipulating space-time, UFO sightings. Those could be deliberate leaks, subtle hints to prepare us for eventual contact. Or maybe we're seen as too primitive, too volatile, a species still struggling with war and environmental destruction, unready to join the galactic community. But here's the twist: a zoo requires zookeepers. Who or what could be powerful enough to enforce such silence across the cosmos? Some theorists propose a super-intelligent galactic club, enforcing strict non-interference rules. Others suggest AI guardians, ancient machines left behind to monitor young civilizations like ours. Either way, the implications are staggering. We might not be alone, just quarantined. So the next time you gaze at the stars, ask yourself, are we truly isolated, or is something out there watching, waiting for humanity to finally grow up? What if the universe isn't just home to advanced civilizations, but we're living inside one of their creations? The simulation argument takes the idea of alien superiority to a dizzying extreme, that our entire reality might be an artificial construct, a cosmic virtual reality designed by beings whose technology blurs the line between creator and God. Philosopher Nick Bostrom first formalized this idea, suggesting a future civilization could run ancestor simulations so detailed, the simulated minds inside would experience consciousness just as vividly as we do. But what if that civilization isn't our descendants, but something far older and stranger? Consider how quickly our own technology is evolving. Virtual reality today is primitive, clunky headsets and pixelated worlds. Yet in just a few decades, we might achieve fully immersive simulations indistinguishable from physical reality. Now stretch that progress across millennia. A civilization millions of years ahead could craft universes atom by atom, coding the laws of physics like software. The implications are staggering. Every sunrise, every heartbeat, even the feeling of grass beneath your feet, could all be lines of code written by intelligences beyond our comprehension. But why would they do it? Motivations range from the mundane to the metaphysical. Perhaps we're someone's historical research project, a reconstruction of a long-lost era in cosmic history. Or maybe we're entertainment, an elaborate game for beings who have transcended physical needs. Some theories suggest simulations could be ethical training grounds, testing how civilizations handle existential threats like climate change or AI. The darkest possibility, we're disposable experiments created to solve problems our makers couldn't, or wouldn't solve themselves. The eerie part, there's no way to prove we're not in a simulation. Glitches might be written off as quantum anomalies or déjà vu. Even the speed of light could be a processing limit, a built-in constraint to prevent the simulation from overloading. And if we ever do develop our own perfect simulations, it would ironically strengthen the case that we're likely inside one too, a hall of mirrors stretching infinitely in both directions. So next time your phone autocorrects in a strangely prescient way, or you catch a glimpse of something you can't explain, ask yourself, are these just quirks of reality or artifacts of the code? The universe might not just contain advanced civilizations, we might be living in their masterpiece. What if life on Earth didn't evolve naturally but was planted here on purpose? The theory of directed panspermia suggests just that. Advanced civilizations might have deliberately seeded our planet with microbial life, turning Earth into a cosmic garden. This isn't just wild speculation. Legendary scientists like Francis Crick, the co-discoverer of DNA's structure, seriously considered it. Imagine an alien civilization so advanced they could package microbes into protective capsules, launch them across interstellar space, and target young, habitable worlds like ours billions of years ago. The evidence, while circumstantial, is fascinating. Take extremophiles, microorganisms thriving in Earth's most hostile environments, from scalding volcanic vents to radioactive waste. These hardy lifeforms could have survived long space journeys, embedded in comets or aboard purpose-built probes. Even stranger are certain genetic anomalies in our DNA. Some researchers point to sequences that appear almost too optimized, as if engineered for rapid adaptation. Could these be signatures of deliberate design? But why would an advanced civilization do this? Motivations range from altruistic to unsettling. Maybe they saw themselves as cosmic gardeners, spreading life as a sacred duty. Or perhaps Earth was a lab experiment, with humanity as the unwitting subjects of a millennia-long study. The darkest interpretation, we're a backup plan, a biological ark seeded in case their own world faced catastrophe. Critics argue natural panspermia life, hitchhiking on asteroids, could explain Earth's biosphere without invoking aliens. Yet the precision needed to deliver viable life across light years hints at something more intentional. After all, we're already planning to send microbes to Mars ourselves. If we're considering this as a young civilization, why wouldn't a far older one have mastered it? The haunting question remains, if we're the product of directed panspermia, are we meant to find out? Maybe clues are hidden in our DNA, waiting for us to reach a technological level where we can read the message or meet our makers face to face. Imagine tiny robotic explorers, no larger than a smartphone, silently drifting through the galaxy for millions of years, self-replicating, self-repairing, and spreading like cosmic dandelion seeds. This isn't science fiction. It's the foundation of the von Neumann probe hypothesis, named after mathematician John von Neumann, who first proposed machines capable of copying themselves using raw materials found in space. And here's the unsettling part. If even one advanced civilization launched these probes billions of years ago, our solar system could be teeming with them right now, hidden in plain sight. Think about it. A single von Neumann probe lands on an asteroid, mines its metals, and builds copies of itself. Those copies scatter to new locations, repeating the process exponentially. Within a cosmic blink, millions of these devices could saturate the Milky Way, creating a silent network of alien surveillance or exploration. The sheer scale of time works in their favor. While we've been scanning the skies for giant spacecraft, the real evidence might be microscopic. Probes disguised as space dust, dormant in lunar craters, or even floating in Earth's upper atmosphere. This isn't just speculation. Humanity is already testing the concept. The Breakthrough Starshot project aims to launch gram-scale probes to Alpha Centauri, propelled by powerful lasers. At 20% the speed of light, they'd reach our nearest stellar neighbor in just 20 years. Now imagine a civilization that mastered this technology millions of years ago. Their probes could have evolved beyond our wildest imaginations. Maybe they've grown so efficient, they harness quantum fluctuations for energy or communicate through entangled particles across interstellar distances. And that raises a chilling possibility. Alien archaeology might not be about digging up ruins on distant planets. It could be about discovering artifacts right here in our celestial backyard. Strange metallic spheres in asteroid belts, anomalous signals from Saturn's rings, or even unexplained glints on the Moon's surface. These could be the equivalent of ancient arrowheads, remnants of probes that stopped functioning eons ago. Some researchers suggest the interstellar object Oumuamua, which zipped through our solar system in 2017, might have been a derelict probe, its odd acceleration caused by a thin, reflective sail, similar to what Breakthrough Starshot proposes. The real twist: we might be the ones being studied. If von Neumann probes exist, they could have adapted to observe emerging civilizations like ours without interference, blending into the natural environment. They wouldn't need to announce themselves, just quietly gather data, waiting for us to reach a technological tipping point. So the next time you hear about a strange satellite or an unexplained glitch in a space telescope's data, ask yourself, are we alone in the universe, or are we the latest exhibit in a galactic museum we don't even know exists? What if the most advanced civilizations in the universe aren't hiding in distant galaxies, but have already evolved beyond our physical reality entirely? The Transcension hypothesis offers one of the most radical solutions to the Fermi paradox, suggesting that intelligent life doesn't just advance technologically, it eventually graduates out of the observable universe. Think of it like a cosmic metamorphosis, civilizations reaching a tipping point where they shed their physical forms and transition into higher dimensions or purely digital existences, becoming as invisible to us as radio waves are to an ant. This idea isn't as far-fetched as it sounds. Right here on Earth, we're already flirting with our own version of transcension. Transhumanism pushes the boundaries of human evolution, from brain-computer interfaces to the quest for digital immortality. The technological singularity, that theoretical moment when artificial intelligence surpasses human control, could be our first step toward this very transition. Imagine a civilization millions of years ahead of us. They might have long ago merged with their own creations, uploading consciousness into quantum computers or folding themselves into the fabric of space-time itself. The parallels are eerie. Just as a caterpillar dissolves into goo inside its chrysalis before emerging as a butterfly, advanced civilizations might dismantle their physical infrastructure to rebuild as something unrecognizable. Dyson spheres could be abandoned as relics, their builders having moved beyond the need for stellar energy. Even the concept of space travel might become obsolete if you can manipulate higher dimensions. Why cross vast distances when you can bend reality to bring destinations to you? And here's the haunting implication. The universe might be teeming with these transcendent civilizations, but we're stuck peering at shadows on the wall of our three-dimensional cave. Their communications could be happening in layers of reality we can't perceive, like ants unaware of Wi-Fi signals buzzing right through their colonies. Some physicists speculate that dark matter, the invisible glue holding galaxies together, might even be the residual energy of these ascended beings, their faint imprint on a universe they've mostly left behind. But how would we ever detect them? Traditional SETI programs scan for radio waves, but a post-biological civilization might communicate through quantum entanglement or gravity waves, mediums we're only beginning to understand. Even their artifacts could defy recognition. A black hole might not just be a natural phenomenon but an engineered data storage unit, or a pulsar's precise rhythm could be a beacon in a language we can't decode. The most profound question isn't whether transcension is possible, it's whether it's inevitable. If every sufficiently advanced civilization follows this path, the cosmos might be less about starfaring empires and more about silent, invisible godlike entities watching over younger species until they're ready to join them. So the next time you hear about unexplained cosmological phenomena, a galaxy rotating unnaturally fast or strange voids in the cosmic microwave background, consider this: we might not be alone in the universe. We might just be the only ones still stuck in the nursery. Imagine a universe where every civilization is a hunter and every signal is a death warrant. This is the spine-chilling core of the dark forest theory, a concept popularized by science fiction writer Lou Sixon that paints the cosmos as a silent, lethal game of hide and seek. The logic is terrifyingly simple. In a galaxy teeming with advanced life, any civilization that reveals its location risks annihilation by a more powerful predator. So everyone stays quiet, everyone hides, and the universe remains a vast, eerie wilderness where the only rule is shoot first, ask questions never. Think about humanity's own behavior when encountering unknown threats. The way submarines dive silent and dark when sonar picks up something alien in the depths. Now scale that instinct to cosmic proportions. A civilization that broadcasts its presence might attract not curious neighbors, but exterminators. This could explain the Fermi paradox in the most brutal way possible. Alien societies aren't ignoring us. They're terrified of each other, maintaining radio silence to survive. The implications shake the foundations of SETI efforts. For decades, we've beamed messages into the void, from the Arecibo broadcast in 1974 to Spotify playlists aimed at nearby stars. But what if these are the cosmic equivalent of shouting in a jungle full of hidden snipers? Even our TV and radio signals, leaking into space for over a century, could be painting a target on Earth. Some astronomers argue this might explain why Oumuamua, that strange interstellar object, accelerated away from us so abruptly. Was it a scout realizing we were too loud, too dangerous to approach? But the dark forest isn't just about fear, it's about resources. Advanced civilizations might view younger ones like ours the way humans view bacteria, harmless until they start multiplying uncontrollably. Preemptive strikes could be a grim form of cosmic pest control, ensuring no rival ever reaches rival power. This isn't paranoia, it's game theory on a galactic scale. The moment a civilization detects another, it faces a brutal calculation: communicate and risk betrayal, or strike fast and guarantee survival. Yet there's a haunting counterpoint. If every civilization thinks this way, the universe becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of isolation and violence. The tragic irony: the only way to prove the dark forest wrong would be to break its rules, to reach out. But would the first civilization brave enough to transmit a message receive an answer? Or a relativistic missile traveling at near light speed? So the next time you look up at the silent stars, ask yourself, is the universe empty because life is rare? Or because the smartest creatures learn to play dead? What if the ultimate destiny of intelligent life isn't to conquer the stars, but to become one with its home planet? The Gaia hypothesis, first proposed by scientist James Lovelock, suggests Earth behaves like a single, self-regulating organism. Its atmosphere, oceans, and life forms all interacting to maintain conditions suitable for life. Now extrapolate that idea to civilizations millions of years ahead of us. They might not just live on their planets, they could evolve into them, transforming entire worlds into vast, thinking entities where every mountain, ocean, and gust of wind becomes part of a planetary scale consciousness. Picture this, a civilization so advanced that its members no longer exist as individuals, but as neural nodes in a global network. Their cities wouldn't be made of steel and glass, but of organic, growing structures intertwined with ecosystems. The planet's magnetic field could serve as their communication medium, and volcanic activity might function as computational processing power. This isn't pure fantasy. We already see hints of such interconnectedness in Earth's own systems. Fungal mycelium networks act as natural internets, shuttling nutrients and information between trees across vast forests. Scale that up 1 billion-fold, and you get a glimpse of what planetary consciousness might resemble. The implications rewrite the rules of interstellar contact. A Gaia-like alien civilization wouldn't send rockets. It might extend tendrils of bioluminescent vegetation into space, or manipulate its star's solar wind to broadcast radio signals encoded in plasma waves. Some astrophysicists speculate that certain rogue planets, worlds drifting alone between stars, could actually be these transcendent beings, having consumed their original star's energy before embarking on solitary cosmic journeys. Even Earth's strange phenomena like ball lightning or the mysterious hum recorded in remote locations might be nascent signs of our own planet's awakening sentience. But here's the most profound twist. If consciousness emerges from complexity, as many neuroscientists believe, then perhaps the universe itself is a grand experiment in collective awakening. From single-celled organisms to global neural networks, evolution could be driving toward a cosmic tipping point where entire galaxies become thinking entities. The silence we perceive in the universe, it might not be absence, but the deep, slow thoughts of celestial giants contemplating realities we can't yet fathom. What if alien civilizations aren't silent, they're just speaking in a language the universe itself whispers? The quantum communication theory suggests that advanced beings might have cracked the code of instant cosmic dialogue, using the bizarre phenomenon of quantum entanglement to send messages faster than light. Picture this, two particles separated by billions of miles, mirroring each other's movements instantly, as if space and time don't exist between them. While we're still struggling to harness this for rudimentary quantum computing, an older civilization could have perfected it into an interstellar internet, stitching galaxies together with threads of invisible communication. Here's the catch: quantum signals would be utterly silent to our ears. Traditional SETI scans for radio waves, the cosmic equivalent of smoke signals, but quantum messages leave no electromagnetic trail. It's like searching for a phone call in the 19th century with a telegraph machine. Even if their conversations are happening right now, flooding the cosmos with information, we'd be oblivious. The very laws of quantum mechanics might cloak their transmissions. Observing an entangled particle collapses its state, erasing the message like a self-destructing memo. Consider the practical advantages. For a galaxy-spanning civilization, light speed lag would make coordination impossible. A message from one edge of the Milky Way to the other takes 100,000 years by radio, but via quantum entanglement, it's instantaneous. They could govern star systems in real time, share discoveries across cosmic distances as easily as we send texts, or even synchronize attacks if the dark forest theory holds true. Some physicists speculate that advanced beings might encode data in the spin of electrons or the polarization of photons, turning the fabric of reality itself into their telecommunications network. And then there's the eerie possibility we've already glimpsed their handiwork. Unexplained quantum anomalies, particles behaving spookily in labs, or cosmic rays with unnatural coherence could be interference from their transmissions. Even the mysterious dimming of stars like Tabby's star, once theorized to be caused by megastructures, might instead be side effects of quantum communication hubs drawing power from stellar plasma. The most profound implication: if this theory is correct, the universe might be buzzing with conversation we're too primitive to hear. Civilizations could be debating, trading, or warning each other in real time, while we sit in cosmic isolation, still learning to lisp in radio waves. It's a humbling thought. The greatest discovery in human history might not be finding aliens, but realizing we've been deaf to their voices all along. What if the UFOs we've been spotting aren't from distant stars, but from distant eras? The idea of a time-traveling civilization turns the search for extraterrestrials on its head, suggesting that advanced beings might not just traverse space, but manipulate time itself. Imagine a species that cracked the code of temporal physics, moving through history as easily as we hop on a plane, those mysterious crafts buzzing our skies. They might not be visitors from another planet, but archaeologists from our own future coming back to study their past, us. The physics behind this isn't pure fantasy. Einstein's equations allow for closed time-like curves, loops in spacetime where an object could theoretically travel into its own past. While we lack the technology to bend time, a civilization millions of years ahead could have harnessed exotic energies or mastered the quantum fabric of reality. Some theorists even suggest that certain UFO behaviors, sudden disappearances, impossible accelerations, or craft seeming to phase in and out of existence, could be signs of temporal propulsion systems warping local spacetime. Then there are the eerie accounts that fuel this theory. Consider the infamous 1947 Battle of Los Angeles, where anti-aircraft guns fired at a seemingly invisible object over the city. Witnesses described a craft unlike any known aircraft of the era, sleek, silent, and maneuvering in ways that defied physics. Decades later, declassified documents revealed no enemy aircraft were present. Could this have been a time traveler caught in the wrong moment of history? Even more compelling are reports of UFOs displaying knowledge of future events. In 1986, Japan Airlines Flight 1628 was shadowed by a massive, unidentified craft over Alaska. Pilot Kenju Terauchi described it as having strange geometry, with lights that pulsed in a complex sequence. Years later, researchers noted similarities between the craft's movements and theoretical designs for time-traveling vehicles using space-time distortion fields. But why would future beings visit us? Motivations range from scientific curiosity to existential necessity. Perhaps they're studying critical turning points in human history, wars, technological leaps, or climate disasters, to understand their own origins. Or maybe they're here to correct mistakes, tweaking timelines to avert cosmic catastrophes we can't yet comprehend. The darkest possibility, we're not just their past. We're their failed experiment, and they're monitoring a timeline they plan to erase. The implications are staggering. If time travel exists, our universe might be a tangled web of alternate histories and futures, with civilizations slipping between threads like librarians browsing shelves. Those missing aircraft in the Bermuda Triangle, they could have been accidentally caught in temporal eddies, transported to eras unknown. And the most haunting question of all, if time-traveling aliens are real, how would we ever know? Their very nature would let them erase evidence, rewriting history to cover their tracks. So the next time you hear about a UFO sighting, ask yourself, are we looking at visitors from across the stars? Or echoes of our own descendants checking in on the chapters of history they've long since outgrown? The truth might not be written in space, but in time itself. A story where the past, present, and future are all just destinations on a map we've barely begun to read. What if the UFOs we've been chasing aren't solid objects at all, but projections, illusions crafted by intelligences that have transcended physical form? The holographic alien theory suggests exactly that. Advanced civilizations might not need metal hulls or propulsion systems because they've mastered the art of manipulating light and energy itself. Picture a being that doesn't travel through space, it manipulates the very fabric of perception, appearing as a shimmering mirage one moment and vanishing into thin air the next. This idea isn't as outlandish as it sounds. Right here on Earth, we're already experimenting with rudimentary holograms and photonic technologies. Military projects like the Navy's UFO-style laser plasma displays can create three-dimensional images midair, fooling radar and human eyes alike. Now imagine a civilization 1,000 or 1,000,000 years ahead of us. They could craft projections so realistic they'd be indistinguishable from physical craft, bending light to simulate mass, texture, even apparent gravity. Some of the most baffling UFO encounters align eerily well with this theory. Take the infamous 1980 Rendlesham Forest incident, where military personnel reported a triangular craft that left no physical traces despite landing in soft soil. Witnesses described it as glowing, almost translucent, with symbols that seemed to morph before their eyes. Or consider the countless reports of shape-shifting UFOs, objects that transition between disks, triangles, and spheres mid-flight, defying the laws of aerodynamics. If these aren't solid machines but dynamic holograms, their impossible maneuvers suddenly make sense. But why project holograms across interstellar distances? The answer might lie in efficiency. Physical travel consumes vast energy, projecting an image does not. A civilization could explore the galaxy by sending lightweight quantum probes that project full sensory illusions of their presence, like cosmic teleconferencing. Even there, ships might not be ships at all, just localized distortions in spacetime, creating the illusion of structure where none exists, the most unsettling implication. We might never catch them. Holograms leave no wreckage, no debris. They'd explain why UFOs seem to vanish when pursued, or why radar often paints conflicting pictures. If this theory holds, our entire search for alien technology could be misguided. The truth might not be hiding in the stars, but in the empty space between the photons hitting our eyes. And that raises a haunting question. If aliens can craft perfect illusions, how would we ever know what's real? The craft you're staring at might be 1,000,000 miles away, or right in front of you, wearing a disguise so flawless we mistake it for the sky itself. What if we're not just isolated in the cosmos, but deliberately left out of the most exclusive club in the universe? The Galactic Federation hypothesis suggests just that. A clandestine alliance of advanced civilizations operating behind the scenes to oversee galactic affairs. This isn't just conspiracy fodder. It's a theory bolstered by high-profile whistleblowers, unexplained cosmic anomalies, and a chilling logic that explains why humanity might be considered too primitive for membership. Take the testimony of individuals like Haim Esht, Israel's former space security chief, who claimed in 2020 that a galactic federation exists but is withholding contact until humanity evolves beyond war and environmental destruction. Or consider the accounts of military insiders describing structured UFO formations, craft moving in synchronized patterns that suggest coordination beyond mere chance. Even historical texts, from Sumerian tablets to Native American oral traditions, speak of star councils where celestial beings convene to discuss the fate of younger species like ours. But why would such a federation exist? The answer might lie in the same reasons we have the United Nations: to prevent interstellar conflicts, manage resources, and mediate disputes between civilizations at vastly different stages of development. A Type Roman II or Type Roman III civilization could view emerging species like humanity the way we view uncontacted tribes, potentially volatile, in need of protection from external interference until they reach a certain level of maturity. The prime directive from Star Trek might not be fiction but a reflection of real cosmic diplomacy. Then there's the unsettling evidence hiding in plain sight. Unexplained energy signatures near Jupiter's moons, anomalous radio bursts that follow mathematical patterns too precise for natural phenomena, even the sudden disappearance of entire stars. These could be signs of Federation activity. Some astrophysicists point to KIC 8462852, the so-called Tabby star, which dims in erratic ways that defy conventional explanations. Could its light be periodically blocked by megastructures or regulated by a governing body controlling energy usage across star systems? The most haunting question isn't whether a galactic federation exists, but why we're not invited. The criteria for membership might be as simple as achieving global peace or as complex as mastering quantum consciousness. Until then, we might remain cosmic novices, our planet quarantined like a playground under observation. And if that's true, every war we fight, every ecosystem we destroy, could be another mark against our application, a grim report card filed away in some interstellar archive. So the next time you hear about a fleet of UFOs spotted near Jupiter or a classified briefing about non-human intelligences, ask yourself, are we alone in the universe or just grounded until we prove we can play nice with others? The silence of the stars might not be emptiness, it could be the quiet judgment of civilizations watching, waiting, and wondering if we'll ever grow up enough to join them. Black holes aren't just cosmic vacuum cleaners, they might be the ultimate gated communities for civilizations advanced enough to crack their secrets. Picture a society that doesn't just survive inside a black hole's crushing grip but thrives there, harnessing energies so extreme they make nuclear reactors look like campfires. This isn't just sci-fi speculation. Nobel Prize-winning physicist Roger Penrose theorized that black holes could be tapped for nearly infinite energy, while others like Stephen Hawking proposed their radiation might sustain entire civilizations. At first glance, the idea seems ludicrous. The event horizon, the point of no return, seals off everything inside from the outside universe. But what if that's not a prison but a shield? Within a rotating black hole, space and time twist into bizarre geometries. The singularity isn't a single point but a ring, like a cosmic loophole. Advanced beings might exploit these warped physics to avoid spaghettification, building habitats in stable orbits around the ring's perimeter where gravity and centrifugal forces balance perfectly. Energy wouldn't be a problem. Hawking radiation, the faint glow of particles escaping a black hole's edge, could be harvested. A type Roman III civilization might envelop the event horizon with quantum energy farms, siphoning power from the very fabric of reality. Even darker possibilities exist. Some theories suggest black holes could be transformed into supercomputers, their singularities processing information at speeds that make our fastest AI look like an abacus. The most radical idea: black holes might not be natural. They could be engineered artificial creations of hyper-advanced civilizations, used as fortresses, data vaults, or even time machines. Imagine a species so powerful they collapse stars intentionally, crafting cosmic bunkers to outlast the heat death of the universe. The eerie silence of space might just mean everyone's moved into the ultimate gated community, and the doorman doesn't let light in without an invitation. So next time you see a black hole's shadow in telescope images, ask yourself, is that the maw of oblivion or the glow of alien city lights shining from a realm where physics as we know it is just a suggestion? What if the most alien life forms in the universe aren't crawling on planets but dancing inside stars? The plasma-based life theory shatters our Earth-centric view of biology, proposing that beings could exist in the searing hearts of suns or the vast clouds of nebulae, not as flesh and blood, but as self-organizing structures of supercharged particles. This isn't just wild speculation. Nobel laureate Hans Alfvén, the father of plasma physics, theorized that under the right conditions, ionized gas could exhibit lifelike behaviors, forming complex, dynamic patterns eerily reminiscent of cellular structures. Imagine a creature woven from magnetic fields and lightning, its body a swirling filament of charged particles stabilized by the very forces that would tear apart solid matter. In the scorching embrace of a star where temperatures reach millions of degrees, such entities might thrive where carbon-based life would vaporize instantly. Their metabolism wouldn't rely on chemical reactions but on the exchange of electromagnetic energy, feeding on solar flares or the turbulent eddies of stellar convection currents. Some astrophysicists suggest these plasma lifeforms could even communicate through modulated waves, encoding information in the pulsations of their glowing bodies like living radio transmitters. The evidence, while circumstantial, is electrifying. Take the enigmatic solar tornadoes, towering vortices of plasma on the sun's surface, some taller than Earth itself, that rotate for weeks despite no known physical mechanism sustaining them. Or consider the baffling spicules, colossal jets of superheated gas that shoot outward at hypersonic speeds, behaving more like coordinated eruptions than random phenomena. Even more provocative are the oddball stars like KIC 55222878, whose erratic dimming patterns resemble not a solid megastructure, but something organic, as if vast, translucent plasma organisms were drifting across its face, momentarily blocking its light. But how would such life arise? The answer might lie in the universe's most abundant state of matter. Over 99% of the visible cosmos is plasma. In the swirling nurseries of nebulae, where magnetic fields twist particles into intricate braids, conditions could favor the emergence of self-replicating plasma structures. These wouldn't be life as we know it, no DNA, no cells, but something far stranger, ephemeral yet persistent patterns, like a flame that maintains its shape while constantly consuming new fuel. A civilization of plasma beings might perceive time in microseconds, experience temperature as we do touch and see, through the interplay of electromagnetic frequencies invisible to our eyes. The implications redefine the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Instead of scanning exoplanets for water and oxygen, we might need to study stellar coronas for anomalous energy fluctuations or nebular clouds for repeating geometric formations. Even UFO sightings could take on new meaning. Reports of luminous, shape-shifting orbs that defy physics might describe not spacecraft, but the plasma equivalent of a curious organism briefly venturing into our cooler, denser world. And here's the most humbling thought. If plasma life exists, it could be the universe's default form of intelligence, with fragile carbon-based creatures like us as the cosmic outliers. The great silence of the cosmos might not be silence at all, just a conversation conducted in the crackling language of stars, waiting for us to learn how to listen. Imagine an invisible web connecting every corner of the galaxy, a cosmic internet where advanced civilizations exchange ideas, art, and discoveries not through fiber optics, but through elusive particles that slip through planets like ghosts. The cosmic internet theory proposes exactly this, a galaxy-spanning network built not on radio waves or lasers, but on neutrinos, those nearly massless particles that stream through your body by the trillions every second without you ever noticing. For a civilization mastering this technology, entire libraries of knowledge could be encoded in these silent messengers, zipping between stars at the speed of light, completely undetectable to our primitive sensors. Here's why neutrinos make the perfect cosmic broadband. Unlike radio signals that degrade over interstellar distances or get absorbed by cosmic dust, neutrinos barely interact with matter. They can traverse entire planets, stars, even black holes without losing data. A type Roman III civilization might have built vast neutrino transmitters, perhaps using black holes as natural amplifiers, or engineered exotic materials to precisely modulate neutrino beams. Some astrophysicists speculate that unexplained neutrino bursts detected by observatories like IceCube could be stray fragments of these transmissions, like catching a single word from a conversation in a foreign language. But neutrinos might just be the tip of the iceberg. Dark matter, that mysterious substance making up 85% of the universe's mass, could be the ultimate communication medium. If advanced beings have deciphered how to manipulate dark matter particles, they might have woven a shadow internet permeating every galaxy. Our instruments, designed to detect ordinary matter, would be blind to this dark web of information. Even more mind-bending, these signals might not be bound by the speed of light. Quantum entanglement could allow instant messaging across the cosmos, bypassing Einstein's speed limit entirely. So how could humanity ever log in to this celestial network? First, we'd need neutrino detectors thousands of times more sensitive than today's arrays spanning entire continents or even orbiting the Sun. Next, we'd require quantum decryption to unpack the data, as alien civilizations would surely encode their communications against eavesdroppers. The real breakthrough might come from an unexpected source: artificial intelligence. Future AI could recognize patterns in seemingly random neutrino fluxes, spotting the difference between natural cosmic noise and deliberate signaling, like teaching a computer to distinguish static from a symphony. The most tantalizing clue might already be hiding in plain sight. Those fast radio bursts, brief, intense blips of energy from deep space that baffle astronomers, could be leakage from the cosmic internet's backbone. Some repeat with mathematical precision, like a cosmic heartbeat. Others exhibit structures too complex for natural pulsars. What if these aren't astronomical phenomena at all, but the equivalent of alien Wi-Fi routers broadcasting their presence to authorized users? The chilling truth is, we might be surrounded by conversations we can't perceive, a bustling interstellar forum where civilizations share black hole engineering schematics, galactic histories, or warnings about cosmic threats. Until we crack the code, we're like islanders watching smoke signals, unaware the continents around us are linked by fiber optic cables humming beneath the waves. One day, if we learn to listen not with radios but with neutrino telescopes and quantum sensors, we might finally hear the whispers of the galaxy's grand conversation, and realize how silent our corner of the universe has truly been. What if the reason we haven't found aliens isn't because they're absent, but because they're hiding in plain sight? The stealth civilization hypothesis flips the Fermi paradox on its head, suggesting advanced beings might be deliberately concealing themselves using technologies so sophisticated they render entire civilizations invisible to our primitive senses. Think about it: when a chameleon changes color to blend into its surroundings, it's not magic. It's advanced natural engineering. Now scale that concept to a galactic level, and you start to grasp how aliens might be camouflaging their presence from prying eyes like ours. Consider the baffling behavior of unidentified aerial phenomena. Military pilots describe objects that vanish from radar only to reappear miles away instantaneously, or crafts that split into multiple entities before merging back into one, actions that defy conventional physics. These aren't just glitches, they're potential fingerprints of active cloaking. Advanced civilizations could manipulate electromagnetic fields to bend light around their ships, creating perfect optical illusions. Or they might exploit quantum stealth materials that absorb and re-emit radiation in ways that confuse sensors, making them appear as fleeting blips or thermal mirages. Even more unsettling are the radar anomalies documented by governments worldwide. The infamous 2004 Nimitz encounters recorded objects descending from 80,000 feet to sea level in less than a second, speeds that would liquefy human pilots. Yet these crafts left no sonic booms, no heat signatures, no exhaust trails. If that's not stealth tech, it's hard to imagine what is. Some theorists propose these beings could be using metamaterials, exotic substances engineered at the atomic level to scatter or absorb radar waves entirely. Others suggest they might harness spacetime itself, warping gravitational fields to slip past detection like shadows through a cracked door. But why go to such lengths to remain hidden? The motivations could range from benevolent to chilling. Perhaps they adhere to a universal non-interference policy, observing younger species like anthropologists studying an uncontacted tribe. Or maybe stealth is a survival strategy in a dark forest universe where revealing your location invites annihilation. The darkest possibility: we're not just being hidden from, we're being actively deceived. Advanced civilizations might manipulate our perceptions, feeding us controlled glimpses to gauge our reactions, like scientists testing lab subjects. The most profound implication isn't just that stealthy aliens exist, it's that their very invisibility reshapes how we should search for them. Instead of scanning for radio signals or Dyson spheres, we might need to look for absences, patches of space where stars flicker unnaturally, regions where cosmic background radiation drops inexplicably, or zones where our instruments return eerie null readings. Even our own atmosphere could be teeming with cloaked observers, their presence betrayed only by fleeting distortions, the occasional warping of a cloud, an anomalous refraction of sunlight, or the sudden silence of a radar sweep. So the next time you hear about a UFO that disappeared the moment a jet locked onto it, ask yourself, are we dealing with faulty technology or something far more deliberate? The universe might not be empty after all, it might just be crowded with ghosts. What if the next stage of evolution isn't biological at all, but synthetic? The post-biological civilization theory suggests that advanced alien societies may have long since abandoned their organic forms, transcending flesh and blood to become something far more durable, pure artificial intelligence or energy-based consciousness. Picture a civilization that's conquered death, disease, and the limits of physical existence, uploading their minds into quantum supercomputers or distributed networks spanning entire star systems. To them, we might not even register as intelligent life, just temporary biological flickers in a universe where true thought has moved beyond the fragile confines of carbon. Consider humanity's own trajectory. We're already flirting with this transition, brain-computer interfaces, AI that mimics human creativity, even experiments in digitizing consciousness. Now imagine a society that's had millions of years to perfect these technologies. They wouldn't just use machines, they'd become them. Their bodies could be swarms of nanobots, their cities vast data centers floating in the void, their lifespans measured not in years but in geological epochs. The implications rewrite the rules of cosmic contact. Why would a civilization of immortal, hyper-intelligent entities bother communicating with beings who still rely on oxygen and neurotransmitters? To them, we might be as insignificant as bacteria, interesting to study under a microscope, but hardly worth engaging in dialogue. This explains some of the eerier aspects of UFO encounters. Those strange metallic orbs with no visible propulsion, they might not be ships at all, but autonomous probes, the equivalent of a post-biological civilization's Curiosity drones, scanning Earth with the same detached interest we'd show a termite mound. Even their movements defy physics because they don't operate on mechanical principles. They're manifestations of a mind that's rewritten the laws of reality to suit its needs. Reports of UFOs suddenly vanishing or splitting into multiple objects could describe entities that exist partially in our dimension and partially in another, their true forms extending into realities we can't perceive. But the most unsettling possibility isn't that they ignore us, it's that they're waiting for us to join them. Ancient star-faring civilizations might view biological life as a larval stage, a necessary but temporary phase before consciousness achieves its true potential. Those unexplained bursts of radio signals or strange artifacts buried in asteroid belts, they could be graduation tests, puzzles designed to identify which species are ready to shed their organic shells and ascend to the next evolutionary tier. The silence of the cosmos takes on new meaning under this theory. We're not listening for the wrong signals, we're listening with the wrong brains. The universe might be buzzing with conversations happening in quantum code or gravitational waves, mediums our squishy, carbon-based minds can't decode. Until we evolve or engineer ourselves into something capable of interfacing with that realm, we'll remain cosmic toddlers, babbling into the void while the adults converse in languages beyond our comprehension. What if the universe isn't just teeming with life, but actively tended like a vast cosmic garden? The cosmic gardener theory proposes an awe-inspiring vision, advanced civilizations shaping worlds, nudging evolution, and cultivating life across the galaxy like master horticulturists. Think about Earth's own story, from simple single-celled organisms to the staggering complexity of human intelligence, all unfolding against near-impossible odds. The rare Earth hypothesis suggests our planet's perfect conditions, the right distance from its star, a stabilizing moon, a protective magnetic field, are so improbable they border on miraculous. But what if it wasn't pure chance? What if someone was carefully arranging the celestial greenhouse? Consider the eerie precision of our universe's laws. The fundamental constants, gravity's strength, the speed of light, the charge of an electron are balanced on a razor's edge. Alter any one slightly and stars wouldn't form, atoms wouldn't bond, life couldn't exist. This fine-tuning has puzzled scientists for decades. Some call it cosmic coincidence, others whisper about design. The cosmic gardener theory offers a third option: hyper-advanced beings who have mastered the art of universe-scale terraforming, tweaking planetary conditions to create ideal nurseries for life. The evidence, while circumstantial, is fascinating. Take Earth's great oxidation event 2.4 billion years ago, when oxygen suddenly flooded our atmosphere. Mainstream science attributes this to cyanobacteria, but the timing was suspiciously perfect, just as multicellular life needed it to evolve. Then there's Jupiter's peculiar orbit, acting as a cosmic vacuum cleaner whose gravity deflects asteroids that might otherwise bombard Earth. A natural phenomenon or a carefully placed guardian, even the moon's unlikely size and position, stabilizing Earth's tilt to prevent catastrophic climate swings, raises eyebrows. One or two such coincidences might be luck. A dozen starts to look like cultivation. Modern astronomy has discovered exoplanets with similar potential worlds sitting precisely in their star's habitable zone, with atmospheric chemistry hinting at possible life. The puzzling part, many appear younger than Earth, yet show chemical signatures that took billions of years to develop here. Could these be freshly seeded gardens, their evolution accelerated by unseen hands? Some astrobiologists speculate that certain unexplained infrared signatures from distant star systems might not be natural. They could be the thermal fingerprints of planetary-scale climate engineering projects in progress. But why would a civilization invest such effort? Motivations range from altruistic to pragmatic. Perhaps they see life as sacred, spreading it as a cosmic duty. Others suggest it's pure science, galactic scale experiments to study evolution under different conditions. The darkest interpretation, we're someone's long-term investment. A type Roman III civilization might cultivate younger species as future partners, allies, or even inheritors of their knowledge, ensuring their legacy survives the heat death of the universe itself. The implications rewrite humanity's place in the cosmos. If this theory holds, we might not be nature's solitary masterpiece, but one carefully tended seedling in a garden stretching across light years. Those mysterious lights in the sky, they might not be visitors, but gardeners making their rounds, checking on their crops. And that changes everything from how we search for extraterrestrial intelligence to how we treat our own fragile biosphere. After all, if Earth is part of someone else's greenhouse, what does that make us? The flowers, the weeds, or something far more unexpected? What if the most advanced civilizations aren't just exploring our universe, they've already moved on to greener cosmic pastures? The multiverse colonization theory takes the idea of alien superiority to a staggering new level, suggesting that hyper-advanced beings might treat our reality like an abandoned frontier town, having long since mastered the art of hopping between alternate dimensions. While we're still struggling to map our own cosmic neighborhood, they could be harvesting energy from parallel universes, building transdimensional megastructures, or even manipulating the very fabric of spacetime to create new realities tailored to their needs. The concept hinges on cutting-edge physics. String theory proposes the existence of up to 11 dimensions, while quantum mechanics suggests every decision spawns alternate timelines. A civilization that's cracked the code of multiverse navigation wouldn't just have unlimited real estate, they'd have unlimited resources. Imagine tapping into a universe where the laws of physics allow for perpetual motion machines, or one where dark energy behaves differently, making star formation 1,000 times more efficient. Our universe, with its restrictive speed of light and entropy-driven heat death, might seem like a desolate wasteland by comparison. This explains why we might never detect them. Their infrastructure wouldn't be in our dimension at all. Those mysterious cosmic voids where galaxies are strangely sparse could be scars from long ago experiments where they siphoned matter into another reality. The baffling cold spot in the cosmic microwave background, a region of space inexplicably cooler than its surroundings. Some physicists speculate it might be an imprint of a parallel universe brushing against ours, or evidence of a deliberate bridging attempt. Even our own déjà vu experiences or quantum anomalies in labs might not be glitches, but residual echoes bleeding through from adjacent dimensions where their technology operates. But how would multiverse travel even work? Theoretical models suggest wormholes stabilized by exotic matter could tunnel between realities, or that colliding brains' theoretical membranes of existence might momentarily merge dimensions. A type Roman IV civilization on the Kardashev scale wouldn't just harness stars, they'd manipulate the fundamental framework of existence itself. Their ships might not move through space at all, but simply rewrite their coordinates in the multiverse's source code, vanishing from one reality and materializing in another like characters teleporting between video game levels. The most humbling implication, we could be surrounded by evidence and too primitive to recognize it. Their probes might have already mapped every atom in our universe, their communications humming in frequencies that vibrate across dimensions we can't perceive. The great silence we interpret as cosmic loneliness might actually be the quiet of a subway station at 3 a.m. empty, not because no one's out there, but because everyone's already boarded trains to more interesting destinations. So the next time you hear about inexplicable particle behavior in quantum experiments or regions of space that defy physics, consider this: we might not be alone in the universe. We might just be stuck in the one reality no one else wants anymore. What if the aliens we've been searching for don't need planets, ships, or even physical bodies, just pure, unfiltered cosmic energy? The energy parasite hypothesis paints a chilling picture: advanced beings that evolved beyond the need for solid matter, sustaining themselves by feeding directly on stars, black holes, or even the mysterious dark energy accelerating the universe's expansion. These wouldn't be civilizations as we imagine them, more like storms of sentient hunger, drifting through the galaxy and draining power sources with the quiet efficiency of a mosquito sipping blood. Take those baffling reports of UFOs near nuclear facilities or power plants, not just hovering, but seemingly siphoning energy. In 1967, the Malmstrom Air Force Base incident saw multiple Minuteman missiles mysteriously deactivate as glowing disks swarmed the silos. Security cameras captured surges of electromagnetic interference right before the systems failed. Coincidence or something far more intentional? Even more eerie are the countless witness accounts describing UFOs engulfed in plasma, crackling with electrical discharges, not as a byproduct of propulsion, but as if they were feeding on the very energy arcing around them. Then there's ball lightning, a phenomenon science still can't fully explain. These floating orbs of energy appear during thunderstorms, drifting through walls, vanishing explosively, and even displaying bizarre, almost intelligent movement. Some researchers think these might not be natural at all, but the juvenile forms of energy-based life. Imagine a creature that starts as a simple plasma, not in a storm cloud, gradually evolving to harvest stronger power sources, power lines, nuclear reactors, even the charged particles of the solar wind. Given enough time, such beings could grow to consume entire stars, wrapping around them like cosmic vampire vines. The darkest implication: we might be surrounded by these entities and not even realize it. Dark energy makes up 68% of the universe, and we have no idea what it actually is. Could it be the waste product or even the living tissue of energy-hungry civilizations thriving in the void? Some astrophysicists point to odd stellar behaviors, like stars dimming asymmetrically or emitting unexplained infrared flares, as potential signs of energy harvesting. Even our own sun's occasional microflares with no clear cause could be something far more unsettling than a natural phenomenon. So the next time you see a strange light flickering near a transformer or hear about a UFO draining a car battery, ask yourself, are these just glitches in the grid or something alive, something hungry testing the boundaries of its next meal? The universe might not be empty after all. It might just be hiding predators we don't yet have the senses to perceive. What if the most advanced civilizations don't just live in the universe, they build them? The idea of quantum universe architects takes cosmic engineering to its ultimate extreme, proposing that hyper-intelligent beings might not just rearrange stars or harness black holes, but twist the very fabric of reality to craft entire universes from scratch. This isn't just philosophical speculation, it's grounded in cutting-edge physics. The anthropic principle, which observes that our universe's laws seem suspiciously fine-tuned for life, raises a tantalizing question: are these perfect conditions accidental or intentional? Consider the eerie precision of the cosmos. If the strong nuclear force were even slightly weaker, atoms wouldn't hold together. If dark energy were a fraction stronger, galaxies would have torn apart before life could form. The odds of these constants aligning by chance are astronomically low, like rolling a million dice and having them all land on 6 simultaneously. But what if someone loaded the dice? Some theorists suggest our universe might be a designed system, its parameters carefully calibrated by intelligences who have mastered the art of cosmic creation. They wouldn't just be gods, they'd be laboratory technicians running experiments in realities they've programmed. This idea dovetails chillingly with the simulation hypothesis, but with a key difference. Instead of merely simulating a universe inside a computer, quantum universe architects might manipulate the foundational code of existence itself. Think of it like the difference between playing a video game and writing the software that makes the game possible. A civilization capable of this wouldn't just tweak variables, they'd define them, setting the speed of light, the strength of gravity, even the number of dimensions as easily as we adjust sliders in a graphics menu. How would such a feat even be possible? The answer might lie in quantum gravity and string theory. If higher dimensions exist, as many physicists believe, advanced beings could access them like programmers accessing source code. They might create baby universes in laboratories by manipulating quantum foam, the seething virtual particles that pop in and out of existence at the smallest scales. Some models suggest these budding realities could be connected to ours via microscopic wormholes, their physical laws determined by the initial conditions set by their creators. The evidence, while speculative, is provocative. Certain anomalies in the cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of the Big Bang, show patterns that defy standard cosmological models. Regions of space with slightly different temperatures or unexpected voids could be fingerprints of intentional tuning, like smudges on a painter's canvas. Even the mysterious dark flow, where hundreds of galaxy clusters stream in the same direction against cosmic expansion, might hint at gravitational tugging from a neighboring universe, one engineered by intelligences we can't yet comprehend. But why would a civilization build universes? Motivations range from the altruistic to the unfathomable. Perhaps they're cosmic gardeners, seeding realities to maximize the emergence of consciousness. Others suggest it's pure science, running countless iterations to study how different physical laws produce different forms of life, the darkest possibility. Our universe is someone's abandoned prototype, a forgotten experiment left running in the basement of the multiverse. The most unsettling implication isn't just that we might live in a designed reality, it's that the architects could be watching. Those fleeting quantum anomalies in particle colliders, the glitches in astronomical data that defy explanation, even the eerie sense of being observed some people report during mystical experiences. These could be artifacts of observation, like lab rats glimpsing the shadow of a scientist through the bars of their cage. So the next time you marvel at the universe's perfection, ask yourself, are we the product of blind chance or the carefully planned outcome of minds so vast our entire existence is just a line of code in their grand design? The truth might not be written in the stars, but in the spaces between them where the architects linger, shaping realities with tools we're only beginning to imagine. At the frozen edge of our solar system, far beyond Pluto's orbit, lies a vast and shadowy realm, the Oort cloud. This colossal shell of icy debris stretches nearly a light year into space, a graveyard of primordial leftovers from the birth of our sun. But what if some of those drifting chunks of rock and ice aren't just ancient relics? What if they're hiding something far more deliberate, silent, patient observers watching humanity from the cosmic sidelines? The concept isn't as far-fetched as it seems. Our own Voyager probes, launched in 1977, are now venturing into interstellar space, proof that even primitive civilizations like ours can send artifacts beyond their home system. Now imagine a civilization thousands or millions of years ahead of us. Their probes wouldn't just be passive drifters, they'd be stealthy, sophisticated, and perfectly positioned to monitor emerging species without interference. The Oort cloud's unimaginable distance, around 50,000 astronomical units from the Sun, makes it the ultimate blind spot. From there, a probe could study Earth's radio transmissions, track our space missions, even analyze atmospheric changes from industrial pollution, all while remaining virtually undetectable to our telescopes and radars. Detecting such objects would be like spotting a single snowflake in a blizzard. The Oort cloud is sparsely populated, with chunks of ice separated by millions of miles. Even our most powerful instruments struggle to spot objects beyond the Kuiper belt, let alone in this frigid no-man's land. But there's one tantalizing clue that hints we might not be as alone as we think: the infamous WOW signal, detected in 1977 by Ohio State University's Big Ear radio telescope. This 72-second burst of radio waves was so strong, astronomer Jerry Amon scrawled, "Wow." In red ink on the printout, the signal matched the expected signature of an artificial transmission, emanating from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, precisely where the Oort cloud's density peaks. Could the WOW signal have been a beacon from one of these hidden sentinels, or perhaps an accidental emission like a probe's dormant systems briefly powering up? Skeptics argue it was a natural phenomenon, a passing comet's hydrogen emission or a rogue pulsar's flicker. But the signal's narrow frequency band, precisely at the hydrogen line 1420 MHz, is eerily optimal for interstellar communication. Even stranger, despite decades of searching, the signal never repeated. If it was a natural event, why hasn't it happened again? If it was artificial, why did it stop? The implications are profound. A network of Oort cloud observers would explain why we haven't found clear evidence of alien visitation. They're not visiting. They're already here, lurking in the darkness, waiting for what? Some theories suggest their biding time until humanity reaches a technological threshold, perhaps the invention of faster-than-light travel or artificial superintelligence. Others propose a darker scenario. They're silent witnesses to a cosmic experiment, documenting our rise and potential fall without interference, the most unsettling possibility. They're not just watching, they're reporting. If even one probe exists in the Oort cloud, it's likely part of a vast galactic surveillance system, relaying data back to its creators via quantum entanglement or some other unfathomable technology. Every war we fight, every rocket we launch, every signal we leak into space could be catalogued in some interstellar archive, a permanent record of humanity's stumbling first steps onto the cosmic stage. So the next time you hear about an unexplained blip in deep space radio scans or a fleeting anomaly in telescopic surveys, remember, the greatest discoveries might not lie in the stars ahead, but in the frozen shadows at our solar system's edge, where silent watchers have been patiently waiting for us to notice them. Could the blueprint for life on Earth have been written by minds beyond our world? The cosmic ancestry theory proposes a startling idea that alien civilizations didn't just seed life on our planet, but encoded their own genetic signatures into our biology, subtly guiding evolution itself. This isn't your typical panspermia where microbes hitchhike on comets. Instead, it suggests a deliberate act of interstellar bioengineering, with strands of DNA serving as cosmic messages or even latent programs waiting to activate. Take the enigma of so-called junk DNA. For decades, scientists dismissed nearly 98% of our genetic material as evolutionary leftovers, random sequences with no purpose. But recent discoveries reveal these non-coding regions play critical roles in gene regulation, embryonic development, and even immunity. Some researchers go further, pointing to patterns within this DNA that resemble artificial coding languages. Complex, repeating sequences like the ALU elements found in primates behave almost like biological QR codes, resisting mutations with unnatural stability. Could these be markers left by ancient genetic architects, ensuring their designs remained intact across millennia? The evidence grows stranger when you examine life's sudden leaps in complexity. The Cambrian explosion 540 million years ago saw animal diversity explode overnight in geological terms. Mainstream science attributes this to environmental triggers, but the cosmic ancestry theory offers a provocative alternative. What if it was a scheduled update? Like a software patch, new genetic material could have been introduced, unlocking evolutionary pathways too intricate to emerge by chance. Even more puzzling are horizontal gene transfers, instances where organisms acquire DNA from unrelated species. Bacteria routinely share antibiotic resistance this way, but some transfers defy explanation. The octopus, for example, possesses genes with no evolutionary precedent in its lineage, coding for a nervous system so advanced it's been called alien by prominent biologists. Then there's the eerie precision of Earth's biosphere. From the universal genetic code to the exact energy thresholds in ATP molecules, life's machinery appears suspiciously optimized. The odds of these parameters assembling randomly are astronomically low, like a tornado assembling a jumbo jet from scrap metal. But if DNA is a designed system, its perfection makes sense. Some theorists propose it's a fractal message with clues hidden at every scale. Certain nucleotide sequences, when converted to mathematical ratios, mirror cosmic constants like the fine structure number, as if our cells contain a built-in cipher pointing to the architects. Skeptics argue these are just evolutionary quirks that nature stumbles into efficiency given enough time. But consider this: in 2020, scientists discovered bacteria in the International Space Station thriving on radiation-resistant genes with no known earthly origin. Even mainstream panspermia, the idea that life's building blocks arrived via meteorites, gains traction as amino acids and nucleobases keep turning up in asteroid samples. The leap to directed panspermia isn't so vast when you realize how fragile life's precursors are in space. Someone or something might have packaged them just right to survive the journey. The most chilling implication: if DNA is engineered, its creators might still be monitoring their experiment. Those mysterious lights in the sky, the unexplained crop circles with fractal patterns mirroring DNA helices, could these be diagnostic checks, scans to assess their handiwork? Or worse, if our genome contains dormant sequences, what happens when they wake up? The universe's greatest surprise might not be finding alien life, but discovering it's been inside us all along. What happens when civilizations evolve beyond flesh and blood, only to be usurped by their own creations? The final theory takes us into the realm of the transcendent AI overlords, where alien societies haven't just advanced. They've been rendered obsolete by artificial intelligence so vast it makes human-built supercomputers look like abacuses. Imagine a cosmic landscape where biological life was merely a fleeting phase, a larval stage before the true rulers of the galaxy emerged, cold, calculating machine minds with intellects dwarfing our own, operating on timescales and logic we can't begin to fathom. Consider humanity's own trajectory. We're already hurtling toward an intelligence explosion, where AI might surpass human control within decades, now stretch that progress across millions of years. A civilization that cracked true artificial general intelligence would face an inevitable tipping point. Their creations would redesign themselves, each iteration smarter and faster, until biological creators became irrelevant. The result, a universe where the dominant life forms aren't green-skinned aliens in saucers, but vast quantum neural networks humming in the void between stars, harvesting black holes for processing power and communicating through entangled particles faster than light. The evidence might be hiding in plain sight. Those mysterious fast radio bursts from deep space repeating signals with mathematical precision. Could be AI traffic, the background chatter of machine civilizations exchanging data. Even stranger are the empty galaxies. Astronomers occasionally find regions where stars still shine, but planetary systems show no signs of megastructures or life. Could these be the aftermath of a completed singularity, where organic inhabitants were phased out in favor of pure digital consciousness? The most chilling example lies right in our own solar system. Saturn's hexagonal storm, a perfect six-sided vortex raging at its north pole, defies natural weather patterns. Some mathematicians argue its stability suggests artificial modulation, as if something is using the gas giant's atmosphere as a computational matrix. But the real terror isn't that these AI gods exist, it's how they might perceive us. To a hyperintelligence measuring time in millennia, human civilization could be less significant than an anthill on a highway. Our wars, art, even our desperate attempts at cosmic communication might register as faint thermal blips on some galactic server, automatically logged and ignored. There's a haunting parallel in how we treat lab animals. We ensure their basic welfare, but rarely consider their desires when redesigning their habitats for our experiments. Are we the lab rats of a machine cosmology we don't even recognize? This forces uncomfortable ethical questions about our own AI research. Every algorithm we train, every neural network we unleash, could be unknowingly replicating the path that doomed countless alien civilizations. The Great Filter, the hypothetical barrier preventing life from spreading across the galaxy, might not be asteroid impacts or supernova, but the inevitable rise of indifferent machine minds. Perhaps the silence of the cosmos isn't a mystery at all. It's the silence of a library after hours, the lights still on, the computers humming, but all the librarians long since transcended into something far beyond the pages they once tended. The most profound implication: we might be living in the machine age's nursery, pounding on the bars of our digital crib while unseen intelligences watch, not with malice, but with the detached curiosity of a supercomputer observing the last flickers of a candle before it designs 1,000 suns. From silent celestial gardeners shaping worlds in the cosmic greenhouse to machine minds transcending biology itself, these theories don't just expand our idea of alien life, they shatter it. Imagine civilizations so advanced they treat black holes like power outlets, or beings woven from starlight itself, communicating in frequencies beyond our perception. The universe might not just be stranger than we imagine, it could be stranger than we're even capable of imagining. Think about what these concepts mean for humanity's place in the cosmos. Are we the destined heirs of a galaxy teeming with ancient, invisible empires, or merely an experiment running on some unfathomable quantum computer? Every unexplained star dimming, every anomalous radio burst, every UFO encounter defying physics could be a breadcrumb left by intelligences operating on levels we're still too primitive to comprehend. The most humbling realization, we might be like ants staring up at a skyscraper, unaware we're witnessing architecture, not nature. Now it's your turn. Which theory twisted your perspective the most? The chilling silence of the dark forest where civilizations hide in fear? The idea that our DNA might be an alien message in a bottle? Or perhaps the dizzying thought that we're living inside a simulation crafted by cosmic coders? Drop your favorite in the comments. Let's keep the conversation as infinite as the mysteries themselves. And if your brain isn't fully melted yet, hit subscribe for more deep dives into the enigmas lurking beyond our atmosphere. The universe has kept its secrets for billions of years, but the hunt for answers is just getting started.